Hi, in version 2.2 of Honkai Star Rail, we'll be getting a brand new character called Boothill. Boothill is a 5-star physical unit following the path of the hunt. He is our newest DPS and is looking to have quite a unique take on the hunt role as he is focused on breaking the enemy's toughness and utilizing break effect. So this video will go through everything you need to know on how Boothill's kit work, going through each part, simplifying it, and explaining how to use each part. Before we start, I'll be giving away a supply pass / welcome moon / crystal card to my subscribers at 4K subs, so make sure you subscribe to enter. But for those who can't wait for the giveaway, let me introduce you to Lootbar GG, where you can recharge your Oneiric shards and supply passes for up to 20% off. If you're gonna be topping up anyways, there's no reason not to use Lootbar to get everything for cheaper. Normally, I would not trust these type of services, so to test it out myself, I've topped out 3,880 Oneiric shards. But as you can see, it is $9 cheaper compared to in-game, and the order came in less than 15 minutes. It's all safe and secure as it only requires your UID and region. New users can also get an additional discount, so what are you waiting for? Go check it out now, link in the description. Let's start with his skill. Sizzling Tangle targets an enemy, making either of them unable to attack anyone else. This state lasts for 2 turns, and during this state, Boothill cannot use his skill but gains an empowered basic attack called Fanning the Hammer that he can only use. Fanning the Hammer does massive damage to a single target but cannot recover skill points. Additionally, when Boothill or the targeted enemy takes damage, they take more damage as well. And when the targeted enemy is defeated or weakness broken, the state ends and it gains a stack of pocket trick shot. So essentially what the skill does in practice is lock Boothill onto an enemy, then he gains another turn, this time with an empowered basic attack that he can only use. Then after 2 turns or until the enemy is dead or weakness broken, this state ends, but if the latter happens, he also gains a stack of his talent. A pretty simple skill that really accentuates the single target nature of his kit, but with good reason. Next up is his ultimate. Dust Devil's Sunset Rodeo does massive damage to a single enemy while applying physical weakness and delaying the action. This is a pretty simple ultimate, but also really strong because first of all, the physical weakness application is not a debuff, so the effect rest of the enemy does not hurt him, and delaying the action could actually be pretty important as we do have to remember, during his skill state, he does also take more damage, especially against powerful bosses, but he might not be able to take a lot of hits. But by delaying the action, it could mean less hits or just outright no hits, as he might just break the toughness or just kill them. Next up is his talent, 5-piece in a pod. Increases break efficiency of your empowered basic attack for every stack of pocket trick shot. This break efficiency can at most increase it to 16 times of the original amount, and pocket trick shot carries over to the next wave. Also, when attacking a weakness broken enemy, deal additional physical break damage. So basically, the stack you gain from your skill increases your break efficiency, and when attacking a weakness broken enemy, you deal more damage based on the damage you deal when you initially break the weakness. And lastly, his technique, 3 to 9x Smile, makes his first skill also apply physical weakness too, which is pretty nice but a bit redundant if you're already versing physical weak enemies. Now we'll get to his bonus trace abilities, starting with Point Blank. This regenerates 10 energy whenever you gain a stack of pocket trick shot. So whenever you break or defeat an enemy during your skill state, you also now gain energy, which is always nice. Then we have Above Snakes, which decreases the damage taken from enemies not locked on by him. Basically to make sure he doesn't die to other enemies since it does take more damage to the one target he's locked onto. And finally, Ghost Load increases his crit rate and crit damage depending on your break effect, maxing out at 300% break effect, which grants 30% crit rate and 150% crit damage. Now this is a huge steroid of stats. I was surprised to see that he doesn't gain a bunch of random bonus stats in his kit like all other DPSs, but it seems that I was wrong, and honestly I'm thankful for that, since without this, he will no doubt be harder to build but also shred up a lot worse than other DPSs, since all other DPSs basically gain abundance of free stats. So yeah, honestly a pretty simple kit. As I said before, a pretty unique take on the hunt role, but we already have a DPS that is focused on breaking the enemy's weakness named Xue Yi. But Boothill also has the additional effect of dealing more damage to weakness broken enemies too. Maybe we will see some synergy here, but more realistically it'll probably be with Harmony MC more than anything else, which I should probably also make a video on. But going back on track, Boothill is looking like quite the straightforward, brute forcing type of damage carry, especially due to him also applying physical weakness. That means that you can basically use him anywhere, but it seems like Hoyo wants you to use it in the new endgame content named Apocalyptic Shadow. So now that we understand his kit, let's quickly break down on how to play him. Despite a unique kit, he'll mostly be quite easy to play. Of course, if you have his ultimate, just use it, but ideally you want to use it before using your skill for the physical weakness application. But if they are already physical weak, or you have used your technique to apply the physical weakness already, then using skill and spamming the empower basic attack until you can use his skill again will be the most optimal way to play him. When it comes to target selection, you can theoretically lock onto an easier target to stack up those talent stacks, but it seems like a huge waste of turns, especially in MLC where unless you're running a million speed on him or Bonnie/Sparkle, it doesn't seem all that worth it. But that is not the case for SU expansions, and maybe not the case for the new game mode Apocalyptic Shadow, which then it might be a good idea. Other things I want to mention is that if you can't kill the boss fast, well, I would assume you're bringing Boothill in a single target boss content, but back to my point, if you can't kill the boss fast, it is suggested you bring a pretty strong sustain, especially against bosses that do huge single target damage. As together with Boothill's more damage taken, he might also be a key candidate at getting one shot or nearly one shot. But against AoE attacks, it is recommended you put it on the far left or right of the team and put a tanky teammate or teammates that want to get hit next to him. Since now that we can guarantee who gets hit now, so we might as well use it. Your team will be thankful for this. And of course, while talking about teammates, key synergies will be with units like Romay, Gallagher, or the new Harmony MC to help increase the speed of breaking or increasing break damage. But other than that, everything else is pretty self-explanatory and looks like quite the fun unit to build and play.